How to choose a bottle of wine.
Welcome to Videojug. We've come to Prism Restaurant in the City of London to learn how to choose a bottle of wine. Wine has never been as cheaply or as widely available as it is today, but still, choosing a bottle can be a daunting task. So, we're here to talk to the head wine waiter, Louise Gordon, and she's going to tell us what factors we need to consider when we're choosing a bottle of wine.
So, I want to buy myself a bottle of wine. What would you suggest? What kind of guidelines can you give me?
Well, first of all, consider, do you want to go for something that you know and you like, or do you want to be a bit adventurous and try something else? Consider how you're going to be drinking it. Are you going to be sitting in the garden? Do you want something with a bit of nice crisp acidity, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, South of France Rosé, or are you just going to be drinking it after work with your feet up in front of the telly? A good thing to do is ask the shop assistant what they like personally, and that's always a good recommendation because they're selling it because they like it, not just because they have to sell it.
Does it matter then how much I'm spending on this bottle of wine?
No, the price doesn't matter when it comes to wine. It's about the quality of the wine, not how much you're spending on the bottle. Obviously, the wines lower down the price range are going to be more suited for party-style, easy drinking, quaffable wines, whereas the further up the scale you go, it will be more suited to a finer occasion. But if you're in a shop or in a restaurant, then you can always tell them your price range and they will find something of the best quality for the price that you want to spend.
What about when and where I'm drinking? That's important, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to consider the circumstances that you're drinking the wine in. So if you're trying to impress someone, if you're on a date, for example, do you want to pick a fine vintage champagne? Or if you're having a family dinner, for example, a special occasion, do you want to start with a sparkling wine and then move on to a white or red and finish with a good dessert wine? And then finally, just remember how many people you're buying for. You don't want to run out of wine.
And if I'm eating, I should be thinking about what wines go with food, shouldn't I?
Yes, absolutely. In the end, it's down to personal choice and what you like. But there are a few general rules that you can consider. For example, if you're having a chicken dish, don't put a big heavy red with it. Go for a nice acidic New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc or Sancerre from the Loire Valley instead. With big red meats, especially if they're cooked quite raw, go for a nice big Barolo with a bit of tannin or an Argentinian Malbec. Those are general rules. And then also don't forget about dessert wine or stickies. For example, if you're having foie gras as a starter, a very classic combination is Sauterne, but also consider things like Baroness Leser from Austria, kind of new things that are onto the market as well.
What about if it's a nice hot day, I'm in the garden, or if it's raining outside, I'm sitting in front of the fire, what would you recommend then?
Okay, well, if you're sitting in the sun, remember it's all about enjoyment, but if you're sitting in the sun, maybe you want something that's slightly lower in alcohol, so maybe a nice German Riesling, semi-sweet, that kind of thing. Or something maybe slightly sparkling, like a nice Prosecco from Italy with some nice acidity, something that's really light and refreshing. If you're sat inside on a rainy day, just with your feet up watching the telly, then maybe go for a nice comforting red, something that's got a bit of base to it, a bit of tannin, go for a nice Argentinian Malbec, or maybe just a nice cheap Chianti.
So basically, the most important point is I should be drinking what I like.
Absolutely, it's all about enjoyment.
Excellent, thank you very much. Cheers.